We come to questions for oral answer. Question number 1, in the name of Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. What did he mean by his statement, quotes, "We want Housing New Zealand to be doing the best job it can," end quotes?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, I meant that we want Housing New Zealand to be doing the best job it can. I went on to say that Housing New Zealand will, quote, "will continue to be by far the biggest provider of social housing in New Zealand, but the experience of countries like Australia and the United Kingdom is that having non-government organisations involved in social housing alongside the government is a better way of doing things. That's why the government is trying to get community housing providers involved in running social housing and not leaving it all up to Housing New Zealand."
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Does it help Housing New Zealand to do the best it can when he is already taking $118 million out of Housing New Zealand, and is he planning on taking any more out this financial year?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
The members talking about the dividends that are paid, then under the Crown Entities Act, all surpluses have to be returned to the government. That is the law. We've never requested more than that. Mr Speaker, that's been, in order of recent times, about $100 million off an asset base of $20 billion. Last year alone, we spent $398 million on maintenance and upgrades, 40% more than the highest year under Labor.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
In light of that answer, why does Housing New Zealand's statement of performance expectations show the government taking another $336 million out this financial year in capital contributions to the Crown?
Mr Speaker.
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Member would need to direct that to the Minister of Housing.
Suddenly knows nothing.
Supplementary.
Order. Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Given that Housing New Zealand is reducing its planned maintenance due to budget constraints, why is he taking a total of $454 million out of Housing New Zealand this year?
Order.
Speaker,
the Right Honourable Prime Minister.
I don't believe Housing New Zealand has budget constraints.
Supplementary.
Order. Order.
Supplementary
question, Andrew Little.
Why does he continue to use Housing New Zealand as a cash cow while refusing to fix homes that are killing New Zealand children?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, it's a very interesting cash cow, one that you give more cash to than you take off.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Isn't this the truth? His government is asset stripping Housing New Zealand to the tune of $454 million, while Kiwi children are dying in cold, damp state houses.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, far from being the truth, the reality is that under this government, we have tidied up the abysmal state we found Housing New Zealand is. And I know that members over there are looking down because they're hanging their heads in shame about how little they did. Mr Speaker, we have spent $30 million providing heating in about 10,000 properties. We've installed thermal curtains in 18,000 homes since February 2013. We've retrofitted insulation to 53,400 homes, and we've spent more on maintenance, 40% more than the absolute highest point ever under Labor.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Well, if state housing is a priority for him and his government, why are there over 3,000 families on the waiting list, children dying in cold, damp homes, and a shortage of state houses?
Well, Mr Speaker,
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
That's the very point about why the government is expanding income-related rents, not just to be to Housing New Zealand homes, because actually the social housing sector can provide stock that can be used to help those people in need.
Supplementary question, the Honourable Trevor Miller.
If Housing New Zealand is going so well, why did one of my constituents have to ring Housing New Zealand 7 times over a period of 6 months after their contractor left a hole in the ceiling and the roof so that all hot air was leaving, her children got sick, and it only got sorted.
Member will resume. The question's been asked. It doesn't need to be that long. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, Speaker, the member knows that he needs to direct those specific questions to the Minister. I don't have that information. I'm not responsible for that. But, Mr. Speaker, what I can say is that any issues that might be there under Housing New Zealand now are far less than they were when that member was a minister in the government.
Question number 2, Dr. Parmjeet Palmer.